Okay, this is my latest project that I'm working on here. This is Fringe, and he is an LED light, and he's also a charging light. And he's got a battery over here on one side, and he's got two batteries on that side. And he's also got a way to get the energy from the sun there too. But what's very different about Fringe and his buddies over here, Hewey, Dewey, and Lewey, these are my first projects here that I worked on. These are jewel thief circuits, and they are also charging circuits. Fairly conventional actually, but interesting projects, and I have been using all three of these actually. They worked out quite well here in the house. But what's different about this is Dr. Stiffler's SEC circuit here that I've modified, and what's very different about this is the charging batteries are being charged off one wire. This is a one wire scenario here, and it's inductor circuit, and I put these LEDs up here where he would have put a diode here. It was a blocking diode, and I found out that I could change the diode to an LED. It's basically an indicator light for the charging circuit, which is over here on this side. And I worked around with different values on the inductors, and I was winding the inductors, and then finally I just bought the inductors that were required, and I don't even have a variable one now. I just figured out what the right value was and replaced the variable inductor with the correct inductor. But see that red light on right there? This is coming across here with one wire. Now let me take away the battery here. You can see that red light's on right now. The battery's not connected at all. And there's no return path for this at all. This is just coming across the circuit on one wire and feeding that energy into this side. And it was amazing. I worked and worked and worked on this for quite a while, and I understand it now. I understand what the dynamic is and why it's happening and how. And it's a compounding of different frequencies, and there's three. And if you want to study Dr. Stiffler, he talks all about it and how it happens and the way it happens and all that. But very interesting dynamic. If you want to study him, he has a website, and he also has a channel here at YouTube. But anyway, this is my latest thing. This is Fringe, and he's going to probably go in a bigger box than these guys, because he needs 3 solar cells to make him work right. And I may not put him on an automatic switch. He may just be an on and off scenario. And as this battery drains down, it fills up these. And this is not over unity. This is not a situation where it's a freebie. It's just a way for energy to come in, make light, and then be captured on the other side, whatever's not used, and then cycled back, and what's needed to be made up is made up with solar energy. And it would just run like these guys over here, as long as they were fed energy. Now poor Dewey here, Dewey never got his solar cell, but Hewey is a supercapacitor, and Lewey is a nickel metal hydride and supercapacitor. And both of those have been running I guess for a month or so now. I just leave them in the sun a little bit, and they charge themselves back up. And poor Dewey there. Dewey just has a couple of AA batteries, but they're like a week's worth. If you wanted to turn him on and leave him for a week, he'd run for a week. And this kind of the same scenario. I'm figuring here, this will just go and go and go as long as I get a little sunlight every day. It's kind of like a garden light, but it's a sophisticated one in that it has a charging part on the back end that's fed with one wire. Anyway, that's my latest project. This is Fringe, and you'll probably see some more about Fringe a little later on.